This podcast is sponsored by Relevant, a location-based mobile network personalized by your interests. Customize your news feed to consolidate all the information you care about all in one place to quickly and easily find what's relevant to you. Find out what's going on in your local area and reach your community from the palm of your hand. Relevant is available on iOS and coming soon to Android. Be the first to know with Relevant.
What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Poorly Edited Podcast, and we are here in Pat's bedroom, where the magic happens. Thanks for having us.
There's never been magic in here.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know why we're here. I don't remember anymore, because it's taken us so long to get to this point.
It's true.
But I need to put these on so I can hear Chandler. How you doing, man?
We're at Pat's bedroom because our guest that we were going to have on got strep throat, and
that's a rad
they
sickness,
can't talk.
man.
So we just and also we're still kind of displaced. We've been filming it live at 13 semi-regularly, but that isn't always available because a lot of other bands use it to practice at, and it's a pretty happening spot.
It's still completely disheveled. Chris told me. Chris said, "I don't even know where my laptop is." So that's
sounds like a rager, dude.
Yeah,
they threw a rager.
Yeah. I actually saw WXLV the other week.
The last time magic occurred in Pat's bedroom that I have any recollection of, it was almost a year ago to the day when we did the 24-hour charity live stream.
That's not true.
In his house, or over Christmas
December,
break.
yeah, okay.
It was like the end of November, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Sure.
I also said almost a year, so I don't know why that didn't fit your criteria.
You said almost a year to the day, which is like two opposite sides of the spectrum.
It's not two opposite.
Alright, anyway, we did a 24-hour
almost a year to
charity
the
stream.
Like almost a year is broad, and you said two of the day, which is as specific as you can get.
Which I want to do. I don't want to do a 24-hour stream. That's off the table. I don't think any of us have time for that this year, unfortunately.
I'm actually upset about that I don't have time, but
yeah.
I would like to do that.
We kind of saw coming.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted to do it after last year, and we talked about it, but I just don't think it's in the cards right now, at least for like this part of the year, because November 3rd is like the day for Extra Life to do the majority of their streams and their 24-hour runs and everything like that. And like, I work on the 3rd.
So do I.
And yeah, you guys do.
Hopefully next year we'll be more organized and we can actually get something really cool going, because I'd like to do something.
Honestly,
I've had a lot of
ideas. I thought the world
ideas.
might end last weekend, so I didn't think of anything past that.
Why?
Just because we were so busy, like I didn't have any storage in my brain to think past.
Yeah.
What?
It was like, after
The
this weekend,
27th.
everything will be over because it will have all been ruined and we'll be dead.
It's
so
like Donnie Darko.
there's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason to plan that far ahead. But I do want to stream like a little bit. I might do some like speed runs or something, like one of these nights coming up this week.
You trying to
for
take back
Extra
your world
Life.
record?
No, I will not get those world records back.
Yeah,
I'm
very
gonna,
quickly, I think.
Wow.
No, it wasn't very
Are we
quickly.
talking
It was
the
up for a
Hotline
few
Miami
months.
thing?
Okay.
Yeah, it was up for a few. I had my record for a few
The
months.
non-combat
But,
mission Hotline Miami.
Yeah, I had the world record for trauma in Hotline Miami, which is all just memorization of the enemy pathing and knowing like keyboard presses, pretty much. Not. I actually got it by accident because trauma was my worst level, and because it was such a departure from what you normally do that I fucked it up every run I did. So I was like, I'm literally just going to play trauma over and over again until I can do it fast. And then I accidentally got the world record, and I didn't realize it until after the stream. Like, because I was like looking at the times and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, that's faster.
That's like when they introduce a new game mechanic for the final boss, and you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this at all.
It really, it's really hard. There's a few parts of Hotline like that, but trauma was the worst because it's just like nothing like the rest of the game at all. And those are usually like, I remember like one of the best Halo Combat Evolved speedrunners, they said that there was this one guy who he was really bad at this one level because it's really fucking hard. It's 2 betrayals. And so everyone hates that level, but this guy like just only played 2 betrayals for like months and got so good at it that he could be bad at the rest of the levels, but he was so fast at 2 betrayals that he got a world record because of it.
Jeez.
Like for a full game run. It's ridiculous. So yeah, like those problematic levels like that can sometimes, like if you can get really good at them, it can give you an edge for sure. That was a weird tangent to get on in the beginning of the show. But yeah, I want to stream because I actually figured out what the problem was with my Wi-Fi. I'm not IP banned at Disney at all.
I'm just stupid.
I'm just a fucking idiot. I got on the phone with tech support finally because I had some time, and they're like, I explained everything I was like, I tried flushing the DNS. I went through
Dude, they
different
probably didn't even
default
know what that
gateway.
meant.
Like I tried like everything, blah blah. And he's like, okay, I'm feeling you. Like, try this. And he's like, open up an incognito tab on Google Chrome. I'm like, done. And he's like, go to CNN.com. I'm like, done. It worked. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And apparently that's just like a thing, because then it triggers it's like the most surefire way for some reason to trigger the login to like the Wi-Fi, which was the problem. I had to re-verify my credentials and like re-accept the terms of use. And it wouldn't trigger the web page to load at all. So it wouldn't let me on, and that was the problem. And he's like, go to CNN.com, and then that worked. And I was like, I'm so fucking mad right now. Like, I've spent hours of my life trying to figure this out, and that's what works. Like, it can be a little janky sometimes. Webcams are not great. I feel like webcam technology hasn't progressed since its inception that much. Like, it's just they're HD now, and that's it. They're not like better. The resolution's improved, but everything else is shit. Like webcam mics are still
like
bad.
Printers. They're like printers are never
The
going to be good.
hardware
For some
itself
reason.
isn't great. What?
Printers are never going to be good.
Printers?
Is this going to be part of the podcast?
I feel like
Okay.
nobody
It's gonna
is
get
working
there,
on
dude.
the printer infrastructure anymore. Like there's all the print, like the labs. It was really nice.
Dude, how is
The
this,
less you have to
how
deal
is
with
this
printers,
what
the
we're
better.
talking about, right?
Because printers
I've
suck,
had the
dude.
busiest month of my life, and this is what we're talking about.
Why has it been the busiest month of your life, Pat?
I was at a sweet concert last night.
yeah. Did you tell him about the Wall of Death?
I did tell them
Okay.
about that.
It sounds amazing, dude.
Dude, it was
I'm so mad I wasn't
sick.
there.
There was a
I was-
Wawa versus Sheets Wall of Death.
Yeah, by a band called Just Friends, which was really interesting because they're classified as jazz on Google, but it was more like it almost seemed like the dude was like rapping over the rest of the music, and it was like there was like guitars and trumpets and drums, and there was a dude dressed as the devil in a diaper running around. I can't tell if he was part of the band or not.
I guess it was on Halloween, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's
It was,
Yeah.
but then at one point they're like, all right, I did this in a basement once 2 years ago, but we have Wawa on one side and Sheets on the other side.
Nice.
That sounds like something that originates out of basement.
It was,
Show.
yeah, it was
some silly
really
shit.
sweet. I was like, because the first two bands, like the first one I really enjoyed, but they weren't like, they like opened and there wasn't a huge turnout yet. And the second band was like kind of, like half of some of their songs were just like a girl playing like rhythm guitar and singing to a mic. And it was like the 4 other people in the band just kind of standing there, and I liked it.
Is it
but was,
Retirement Party?
like, no, Retirement Party was the first band. This was Awake but Still in Bed,
I've been
which is
listening
also a
to
pretty
them.
good name.
Yeah.
Awake but Still, like they were cool, but they weren't very lively. But
Yeah.
then when Just Friends came on, they were like super hype, and it was
Nice.
really really cool. And that's when like the moshing started and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I got hit in the jaw with somebody's
Yeah,
elbow.
that sounds
It was
about right.
sweet.
Nice.
Was that the first real show you'd been to?
No, I saw the Wombats, that same venue,
Oh. Where else?
like almost a year ago. Union Transfer.
Oh.
And I went to a Fratelli's concert in Theater of Living Arts.
Because you've been to so many small scale
Yeah.
shows at this point.
I think this is my favorite concert I've been to.
Yeah.
Really? Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it.
You know,
That's you.
because Mom Jeans is such a band where, like, I don't think anyone in their 40s would care about it because it's so, like, specifically about, like, being, like, 20 years old or a little older
Right now.
and having, like,
Yeah.
really specific problems in your life that like everyone there was super into it and could like just you could tell everyone was loving it. Like that's the most I've heard people shout lyrics. It was like the crowd was singing along the entire song, which I've never seen before.
Yeah.
But it was really, really cool.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
And you said they were wearing sad clown
Yeah,
makeup.
they were wearing
too.
sad clown makeup. It was pretty great.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I couldn't be there last night. Obviously, I would have been at that show, but I'm in Florida, so instead, Lizzie and I, on the way to the movie theater last night, I played Mom Jeans' Audio Tree live set as loud as I possibly could in the car. So that I was like, it'll be almost like I'm there when I go home and my ears are ringing. It'll be like I just got back.
My ears weren't ringing that bad, actually. That was another weird thing, is that my ear, I think that's the best my ears have been. Like, once I got home and was laying in bed, I could, like, it's like, when there's nothing happening, it still sounds like, There's a little bit of that, but...
I had a really bad headache after the 13 show.
Really?
Yeah. I was right next to the speakers most of the night, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, there was a couple times where I was, like, trying to get a shot of a drummer, and I was, like, leaning towards him, like, this is so bad, I have to get the shot, like, right now.
You guys have little baby ears.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you have a little baby everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how was your 21st birthday?
Yeah.
My 21st birthday happened a
Happy
while ago.
Birthday, by the way. I heard I didn't say anything too, so
Yeah,
I heard it live on air.
I'll have you know I specifically DM'd Lizzie personally to wish her happy birthday.
I've been thinking about telling her to tell you happy birthday. This is a fuck you to her, but whatever. I'll get to her in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's probably good.
My 21st birthday was way more low key than even Lizzie's was, which is like kind of like we just like went to the movies, and we went to the Hard Rock Cafe for dinner, and then I drank a little there, and I think that was like it. Like, I don't remember what else we did. Yeah, we went to the movies, the dine-in dinner.
What'd you see at the movies?
That was Fallout. Mission Impossible
76.
Fallout.
Yeah,
Fallout 76. Ah, shit.
Is it in beta, I guess?
Yeah. I can't wait to play
Dude,
it.
that's the one downside of playing PC games, is that like you could like pre-order an Xbox game for like $5. But if you want to pre-order a game on PC, you actually have to buy the entire thing.
Yeah.
Stupid. I want to spend $5 and not actually buy the game.
Don't act like you're not gonna buy it anyway.
I don't know.
Really?
I'll buy it if I can run it.
Nice.
I'm gonna watch gameplay. I'm gonna see what the specs are required.
Yeah.
You really think it's gonna be better looking than Fallout 4?
No.
I can
I'm
run
sure it's the same
Fallout 4
engine.
fine.
I think
So,
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not putting
I
any
mean,
money to make
player.
it look any better.
Sometimes just being multiplayer really takes a toll.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. PUBG. Lizzie's 21st birthday though was pretty lit. We went to the House of Blues, which I found. The House of Blues, I don't know if anyone's familiar, but it is a restaurant themed from the Blues Brothers movie with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
I love that movie.
So you go in there, everything's like very New Orleans, kind of Louisiana kind of themed, Cajun themed food as well. And there's, a live band playing, and a bunch of movie reference memorabilia all over the place. Pretty subtle stuff. But, we're eating, and I'm like making some subtle references to the movie. And Lizzie's like, I've never seen the Blues Brothers. This is just my favorite restaurant. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, how? She's like, I just like this one dish that they have. It's really good.
Like
and I'm like,
dude, honestly, if you go and if you just Google the movie clips, like the 10 clips they have of Blues Brothers, I think you see the best parts. Basically, the entire reason. I mean, I'd say watch the entire movie, but there's some like.
Do you ever just watch movie clips?
I did that.
Just Google.
I did that last night. I didn't do it. It was like recommended, and I watched the 10 clips they had of Straight Outta Compton last night.
Nice.
I don't know why.
did Mom Jeans tell everyone?
No, that wasn't last night. That was 2 nights ago.
Everyone likes Wawa get on one side and Sheets on the other. Everyone get out their phones and look up clips.
Pat, what side were you on?
I was on Wawa, dude.
Fuck, dude, we would have been on opposing sides.
That would have been the best part if you were there.
Yeah.
We could have killed each other.
Yeah. Jeez, dude. Fuck.
That's all right, because we were at a bunch of other shows that you. Oh wait, no, you weren't at those either.
Oof.
That kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick, before we get away from Blues Brothers too
okay,
far.
sure, yeah, go ahead, buddy.
There's an ice cream place out towards Kutztown called Premise Made, and they have life-size statues of Jake and Elwood.
I thought you were gonna say life-size
Nice.
statues of ice cream.
Yeah. I don't, it's so random though, because like when I was a kid, I saw Blues Brothers, and I went there, and I'm like, what is going on? Why would they choose them? Out of anything you can make into an ice cream shop, why is like Jake and Elwood Blues sitting at a table?
Is there anything cool about the ice cream itself? Or is
It's
it
really
just
good, and it's like there's like a whole chocolate shop. It's like kind of has
like homemade chocolate?
yeah, and it's
Nice.
like there's a whole like Willy Wonka kind of style.
Where they turn you into a blueberry
No.
crown you and shit?
No, there's just like figurines going like this and like a chocolate bowl and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
there's
kinda
that.
creepy,
It's kinda,
actually.
it is a little bit, but it's nice. I'd recommend going.
Okay, and Kutztown?
No,
What you
it's
said?
like towards Kutztown.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my dad really likes ice cream, so we went there as a lot as kids.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why we drove like 20 minutes to get ice cream though, but whatever.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
for
know.
different
I don't care
times.
about your childhood.
Anyway.
Burritos,
Yeah.
dude.
Not
Jesus.
it. Not it.
We ate at House of Blues, and then we went to this really cool. It's like a 20s themed 20s themed bar
20s?
club where like everybody's in like there's a live band playing that's like postmodern jukebox, which is really fucking cool, and so they're doing like covers of like modern songs but in like a postmodern jukebox kind of style, and they have like performers, they have like a tap dancing guy, and they're all dressed like for the times, and the whole bar like looks like you're in that time period kind of aesthetically. And we got some drinks, met up with Kenny, a friend of ours, and then simultaneously during that night, as we're ordering drinks, the waitress comes over and she's like, "Your card got declined," and I was like, "Ooh, why?" And I found out yesterday the reason my card got declined is because at the precise moment we were ordering more drinks at the Edison bar in Orlando, Florida, my card was getting charged for RuneScape membership internationally. And my bank was like, "Wait a second, he's in Orlando, not London."
That's
And-
hilarious.
And nobody who plays RuneScape is of age and can go out
Right.
and get drinks.
Right, also that. They're like, "This is absolutely contradictory. A 13-year-old got a hold of his credit information when he used Uber tonight, and they put a hold on my card."
Good.
And my bankers were explaining what the charge was, and they were pronouncing Jagex, which is the company that makes RuneScape. They were pronouncing the name wrong, and I was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like when I realized, I was like, "Oh no, dude." So that's embarrassing as shit.
Dude, my card got declined last night because they're like, "Why is this idiot spending like $80 on merch in Philadelphia?" So I had to go to an ATM and take out the money.
They've like shut down my card before just by getting gas in like the same town my bank was in. Like, chill, guys, it's fine. Like, I gotta fill up.
Whoa.
Or no,
Someone stole his card and is getting gas with his card.
it was specifically like air for my tires that I actually had to pay for. It wasn't free, and that like tipped the thing for them. They're like, no. Nobody does that.
No one
They
does
think
that.
the dude saw that in his monitor. He was like typing furiously. He's like, "Oh, thank God we saved it."
And I just immediately called.
And then last night for Halloween, I wasn't at the Mom Jeans concert, which I'm upset about, but I think we did something almost as cool for Halloween, which we found out they were showing Rocky Horror Picture Show at the big movie theater in Disney Springs here, and the tickets were like $5, and we were like, holy shit, dude. Because we've never actually seen that movie all the way through. But I knew of the cult following that it has and the weird shit people do for it, and I was like really interested in that. So we went, and I was not disappointed. And I was so taken aback by, I shouldn't say taken, I was so like just surprised and enthralled by the audience participation that immediately after the movie, I had to Google the entire origin of this tradition and like understand how the fuck this happened. Because like it was so unreal. Like I will obviously probably never see, unless I go to see that movie again, not be in a movie theater where it is that okay to disrupt things so much. Like,
No. I've never experienced it in the proper setting. Like I've seen it, but I haven't been there for it. But don't they really hate the female protagonist?
Oh yeah, they call Janet, the female lead, slut, and the Brad, the other male lead, kind of, her boyfriend is asshole, and they will refer to them as that the entire movie. They have names for each like person.
What's Meatloaf's name?
Well, his character's name is Eddie, but I don't remember what they actually say to him. But there, I found out. What? Oh yeah, they just say Eddie, Eddie, like really loud. But I found out that there's apparently like because everybody was saying the same thing. Like everybody was clearly rehearsed. Like they weren't just coming up with their jokes on the fly, you know? So I was like, what? How did this happen? And there's like apparently a script for the audience of what they're supposed to say at each part. It's the whole film script, and then in all capitals it has what the audience is supposed to say at what point. And it's just like crazy. And all the people that were doing it were very funny, and when they did improv it was really funny. And it was just like, and they started dancing during like one of the musical numbers. It was such a weird experience, like to watch a movie where the complete opposite kind of demeanor is encouraged. Like one of the ushers came in before the movie. He's like, okay, it's like, hope you enjoy the movie. You can talk, you can participate, you can dance, just like try not to block anyone's view and stuff. Like don't be a dick. But other than that, like just go crazy. And everybody definitely did. But yeah, it was really insane. I would absolutely do it again, and I encourage anybody who gets the opportunity to go see it like that. I purposely didn't watch the movie at home ever because I knew that I wanted to see it. Like I feel like that's its proper form, you know, to view it in. And I'm glad I waited because it's a really fucking good movie too. Like I really dig it, like just as a film, and Tim Curry's amazing. So I like how Loot Crate like started the Loot Crate trend, and now no one uses Loot Crate, and everything else has been put into Loot Crates. Like you can get fucking there. I was listening to Funhouse's podcast. You can get like couches in Loot Crate style almost. Like it's like
it's not a Loot Crate. You don't get a random couch. Just get that's how it works. That's a service I want to sign up for.
It's
you get a random couch every month.
Just come take the old one. Why not? I'll do it.
They just trade you out. You just gotta pay like $200 up front, and it's like $20 a month.
You're overpaying for your couch after a little while.
You get a new couch.
It's gonna get annoying. Do you think like 6 months in, you're just like, I don't want to do, like, please stop, and they come in and they like pick you up and you're still on the couch. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore, and they just make you.
Why is this a business?
Oh shit.
What would be the most annoying thing in your house for them to do that to?
Your fridge.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Or your bed.
I was gonna say shower.
Yeah,
Shower'd be pretty bad.
No, your fridge, because they come in, you have to take everything out, and then you'd have to put everything back in.
I'm saying shower because they probably have to uninstall and reinstall the entire shower and take like a day. So it'd just be like a day where you couldn't bathe.
That's fine by me, man.
Nice.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got all that.
Good.
It's going straight to the feds.
No, I think it's interesting. Like the more there's more and more like just items or types of businesses that are moving towards this like weird a la carte kind of like, you pay a subscription for this thing, you get it like periodically, and it's like super like tailor made to you, you know, like it's like Blue Apron or something, or they're like Stitch Fix, like all these things, which is like take this one thing and we're gonna make this one thing like really over the top customizable, and like really just it's so extra, like it's such a fucking extra thing, you know.
I don't think it's that extra.
It's pretty.
I mean,
it's
like Stitch Fix is like, I don't really know anything about fashion, as you could probably assume from the 50 episodes that have gone on so far.
Right.
But the one time I like tried to sign up for the thing before I realized I didn't have enough money to do it, and it was like really simple questions that
I think it's
like,
funny
I could
that
actually answer, and then but I assumed the clothing would be like way more like stylized and like actually look good as opposed to all my graphic T-shirts.
Right.
So like I think like that's kind of cool. Where like I don't know anything about it, and it kind of lowers the barrier to entry knowledge wise.
I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm just saying I find it interesting that like that you can. There's a service. I feel like there's a service for almost anything you can think of at this point that is like that, you know, where it's like top quality shit, like delivered right to your door. It's tailor made for your like what you need, blah blah blah. It's usually kind of cheap, but like it's not cheap if you're doing a bunch of shit like that all the time, you know, like it adds up. But like you have Dollar Shave Club too. Like it's like anything you can think of has a thing for it where you can have that kind of service. It's just interesting. Like I feel like it's totally the antithesis of like people say that we're the generation who like wants everything now, and like we don't like, you know, waiting, and we're so like, you know, snappy. It's like that's totally the culmination of that. Like the fact that you're getting meals delivered to your door for cooking, like just ingredients and shit, and like you don't have to put any thought into buying your own groceries now, or like what what clothes you're gonna wear. Like it's all in this like automated straight to your door thing.
What's next?
I can't hear you, Lizzie.
What's next, dude? What's Lizzie's hot take?
What's Lizzie's hot take, Lizzie?
The Amazon fashion thing where it sends you a bunch of clothes you don't think you like, and whatever you don't like you just send back, and whatever you do like you just keep.
That's Stitch Fix too. They're clapping. That's Stitch. I think Stitch Fix does the same thing. I think Amazon is just gonna do everything other people do and slightly worse, but like it's good enough. That seems to be where Amazon's been coming from.
That's because it's convenient, and the customer service is pretty good.
It is.
Like I don't think I've ever had a problem with Amazon where like something wasn't what I liked, and it was like, yeah, you have to live with it.
I pay for Amazon Prime for a reason. It's very worth it.
I pay for Twitch Prime.
Oh yeah, that's where that comes from.
That's part of what's... Dude, Twitch Prime every month, they're like, here's 16 games. And I'm like, okay, dude, thanks. Like, it's like, how are you making money off of this? Like...
That's because they're like, the last month there was like System Shock 2, which cost like 40 cents.
Yeah. Hey, don't talk shit on System Shock 2, dude. It's a fucking classic, dude.
It's like 20 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so good. Please play it. Anyone
it's
who
like
has
25.
it, it's so great.
Really?
It's pretty old.
Jesus.
It's very old. It's very old.
Yeah.
That was the precursor to BioShock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken Levine's first game that he worked on in such a big role.
Yeah.
Are we going down that rabbit hole?
Yeah,
Ken Levine is a fucking visionary,
No,
and
I agree.
I'm so upset that Irrational Games went out of business. I don't know how it happened. Like I don't understand. They were so on their A game, you know.
I thought he shut that down himself.
No, I don't think so. BioShock Infinite was pretty rocky for them. Like it was really rocky, you know.
I really enjoyed BioShock Infinite.
I'm not saying it's a bad game, but like I mean, it could be better. There are some problems I have with it, but like it's not a bad game. I enjoyed it, but I know in development it was like really hell for them.
Yeah, they rewrote it like a million times.
Yeah, and you can tell because if you ever watched the original, which I did when they were coming out, like the original trailers and gameplay for it, not a lot like the final.
There's like a shot where Elizabeth is that her name? I don't even remember. Yeah. She's like cradling a dead horse.
Nice.
And that's like a part of the story. Mm-hmm. That's just always one of the things that comes to my head when I think about that.
You ever played it?
Infinite, yeah. I played it once.
Yeah.
I was a real big
I
fan
always
of
wanted
that
to go
first
back
two.
for a second playthrough on like the hardest mode. 1999, is it?
1999 or 1996 or something like that. I don't
It's
know.
1999.
I
I think.
I love the intro to Infinite though. I think I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Honestly, I think I like it more than the original
Like,
Bioshock.
the storytelling is really good in that one, for sure.
'Cause, I mean, the original Bioshock intro is pretty sick, but I like... It just kind of throws you in.
That first time... I guess for both games, that first time you go...
But Infinite's like,
pretty intense.
you don't know you don't know why you're there. Or, I mean, same. I guess it's both are pretty similar, but
I just think
that it's,
Bioshock
like,
1's way more iconic.
Yeah.
Bioshock is like you get there and then immediately someone gets killed and you know something's going on. But Infinite's like, it seems really cool, but you're uneasy still.
I do like the opening bit of Bioshock Infinite where you're just like going around the city and you're like, ooh, these things are weird. Like you can just roam around yourself and witness things and you're like, what?
Or like when there's
the
that
hell is that?
when
Like,
there's this
what's going
sign that's
on?
like
you know, and
beware
there's
the
just like
false
little
prophet.
things that start to unease you as you progressively go, and then it hits a crescendo. Like I do really like that. That was cool. The slow burn kind of at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that's a little bit cooler the first time you do it than the second time.
Oh, yeah, I recently started playing it again, and I'm like, kind of mash A for like 20 minutes.
I was never really impressed with like any of the like. There's very little gameplay that I was impressed with though. Like all the powers didn't really. It was just like whatever.
There was there
was a lot of fighting that I was like bored like going into like there was a point in the game where every time I know there was a fight coming up, I'd just be like, ugh. You know, like
the skyhook shit was dope though. That was.
I remember there was like it was like an arena like pretty far in the game I think where you're just like fighting a ton of people and there's like a skyhook rail that goes like around the entire.
When you
area.
get that rhythm down of like jumping back and forth between it, it's like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. They did get that right, and that took a lot of time for them. But what I was going to say about Irrational, as something I recommend. I mean, I know everyone should watch our podcast and listen to that, like chiefly at number one. But
if you find more time,
if you somehow find more time to watch more, or listen to more podcasts, go. I don't even know if you can still find them on their like website, but when I was programming still like in high school and I was making like game prototypes and stuff, something that like kept me going is I would listen to Irrational Games' podcast that they did, and they talk about like their entire repertoire of games that they've ever worked on, and they like pick stuff apart, and it's just such a meaty kind of game development podcast that's just, it's also interesting to listen to the creators of such an iconic franchise, or I guess two iconic franchises, because like they have SWAT, System Shock, Bioshock, like and just kind of listen to like their headspace and like everything that went into all that. It's just really interesting. So that's a big recommendation. Obviously, it's not going on anymore because they're dead. But Ken Levine is he's
really interesting to listen to. Ken Levine.
Is. He's very knowledgeable.
I also love when people like on super high levels of knowledge of certain things talk to each other, and you're just like, it's like such a cool thing to listen to because like you can't even like capture fully what they're talking about, or like there's like 9 levels of understanding they have that you don't have, but it's like you learn so much.
It's like you're watching like a dance, or like a performance.
It's like even if you're watching like fighting games, that always does it for me, where they'll make some like feint attack and I'm like, that means so much. There's like so much thought put into that.
Yeah.
I feel like you can get better at fighting games by watching a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I think better at any game by watching high level play. That's part of it. At least when I was like playing competitively, that was part of my routine. Is like you play, you scrim, you practice, and then when you're eating or you're like about to go to bed or something, or you have some downtime, you're watching the pros play, and doing their matches and trying to pick apart what they're doing and understand it.
Yeah, there's like there's this dude in the Counter-Strike scene named Sean Garris, who used to be a pro, but he does like really extensive videos and like some of the strats, and they're all so interesting. There's like this team that
he's a saint.
Yeah, there's this team that's like heads above everyone else right now in Astralis, and like it's like it's like incredible to watch how like much of a different level they're on. Yeah, and they, like break it down. much content.
Yeah. Anybody who like does those kinds of how-tos and stuff like that are just amazing, because without them it'd be so much harder to extrapolate the information that you need, you know, because you'd have to figure it out for yourself, like what's important and what's not. I don't know. That was a big tangent.
Jesus Christ. We're not doing well this podcast. Let's stay on task.
I think it's Pat. Zach. Pat. Whoever. Zach, that was you.
What are you talking
Go
about?
on. He was going to say something.
That was Pat.
All right. Pat, you were going to say something.
You said... Who said we were going on a tangent?
I'm gonna say something now.
Okay,
So you know, I wasn't there, unfortunately, as you guys rudely stated earlier, but we had a show that we put on ourselves with the help. It was a Lab 212 like concert that we threw with the help of Airspace and Chris Kennedy, Chris Carcetti, all them, and
my dad,
and Pat's dad.
Pat's dad did get us some pizza that night.
It's true.
So.
It's coming in clutch.
Yeah, very kind man.
But I think it's interesting to talk. I mean, it's weird. Like, I wouldn't have expected we would have done something like this, you know, a year ago, doing a fucking shitty podcast at WXLV at El Tracy. Like, that wasn't really very
especially
much
since we've been
in the
forced
reality.
Into my room. We're that out of options right now.
Look how far we've come.
But like, you know, how was that experience? Like putting on a concert that people went to and like enjoyed, and you had like really sick bands playing. Like, what was that like?
You know, it was really stressful.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But there were definitely a couple moments where you were just able to sit back and you're like, this is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
and like this is happening because of what we did.
Yeah.
And that was, it's just one of those indescribable feelings. It was so cool. It's like these bands are up here because we put them there, and these people are here because we've got them here.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Also, the planning process was like, it was a ton of like when you're at a concert and you see stuff, you're like, okay, that's a concert thing. But then when you're trying to plan one, you're like, I don't know what I should get at all.
Yeah. Which
Chris Kennedy's like, because we did our concert and then we went to Live at 13 after, and I'm like, you really got this down.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because I went to last Live at 13, and I thought it was really cool, but after turning our own show, I have like way more understanding of how good he is at doing that.
Chris Kennedy was an absolute saint that day, and I've said it like a million times that we couldn't have done it without him, and he was so supportive, and I have such respect for him and what he does at Live at 13, because he does it so damn well. And he was a huge help, and we learned so much from him, and he helped out so much, and he didn't, at no point did he make it seem like he didn't want to be doing this for us. At one point he said to me, he's like, if there's one thing that I am, it's like support the scene. At all costs, support the scene. And I know he meant that so genuinely that he was totally okay doing this with us. Yeah. And that's fucking awesome. Like, it's fucking awesome.
You know, it's even like the icing on the cake for that weekend was last night when like some dude up there was like talking about how important supporting this local scene is. He's like, I'm sure all of you do something to support the local scene. I'm like, I actually did. And then it's like, like I didn't just go to concerts. I'm actually like supporting something that's really, really important.
Yeah, like way more hands-on, you know, than just being a bystander. And you know, I mean, which I'm not saying isn't important. You need people to go to shows and pay for it and shit. But
not everybody can run their show. That's fine. Like, jeez.
It's just like, I feel it's.
When that first wave of people came in, when you're like, we already have people buying tickets, it was like, holy shit. Like, what's going on here? It was really cool.
There was what was I about to say? I don't know.
So Run From the Radio was there. They played. They actually played some new songs.
They did.
Which
really? Yeah, I heard about that.
They have a song called At War, which is like really heavy and like everything is on point with each other. It's really tight. That sounds freaking dope. That's like their heaviest song.
Yeah. It's and Afterglow came out.
Afterglow came out that day. Yeah. That was actually Sam's first time seeing them live, and she
Really?
she said a lot of good things. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Sam always is like.
She's so behind the scenes.
Yeah.
She's like organizing all these things for them and art and all this
Yeah.
stuff, but she never actually gets to see anybody play. That was her first time seeing Airspace play too. So I feel like we've seen him a million times.
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
I saw him 4 times last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. That was nuts. And it doesn't get old.
No, it doesn't.
Even after
No.
a 3-hour funk.
He always
set.
kills it too. Like,
Yeah.
cause like I filmed on Kutztown on Sunday, and like there was a decent amount of people. Like there was like I don't know, like 50 people there or something. But it was like a really big room, and they're all kind of like pushed around to the sides.
Yeah.
And like if I went in there, I'd be a little discouraged and been like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't give it all my performance, but like Chris does it every time.
Yeah.
And I have
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea how he
Props
does
to him,
it.
dude.
It's
what
like
he has to do.
insane.
Yeah.
That was what I was gonna say though. Like that show, there was like I only saw 2 bands that night, but like there was like no one there, and it was on a college campus, and it was free.
Oh,
I don't understand
geez.
how people. I don't know. Like if
People,
I think for some reason people just like don't
They
watch
just-
local music.
well,
for
a
some
lot of
reason.
people just don't want to do anything.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like they'll
People are
complain
boring.
about nothing to do, but like
Yeah.
I have that problem sometimes where I'm like, do I really want to go out and do that? But then when I do, I always enjoy it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I got off my fucking ass.
Yeah.
Just like
and had a good night.
it was like Airspace, which I love, and then some band after them was like metal, which I wasn't a huge fan of their music, but I just love being in that atmosphere. People like going
Oh.
wild for metal music. It's always
Yeah.
sick. People just need to like if you see a flyer for a concert, even if it's like I don't know whatever it looks like music can come out of the best music come out of the weirdest places. So like you might find a
Yeah.
band you really like.
We also
Yeah.
had We're from Antarctica play at our show.
Yeah.
I fucking love We're from Antarctica so much. Like, they've
Yeah.
been growing on me so much over the past couple of weeks. I was telling Sam that they are my spirit band. Like, not spirit animal, they're my spirit band. I
Right.
fucking love those guys. I love their music. They're like the nicest
Yeah, for
group
sure.
of boys and now girl.
And now girl, yeah.
Because they have this sick keyboard going on now. Which when they did that during our sound check, because they played like a part and then it drops and then she
Yeah.
just doesn't lick. I was like, damn, that's awesome. So they put on a really good set. I love them so much.
Yeah.
They just have such a genuine sound.
They're also nice.
They're very nice people.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Very.
I think I married Mac and James at Live at 13.
Did you?
Because
Nice.
they joked about being, they were like, ready to kiss. And I'm like, I'm ordained. We can do this right now. So he said I do.
Nice. That's
I honestly don't remember if it was James. It was Mac for sure.
Mhm.
Because I like Mac, so I remember him.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
Wow.
other person. Yeah.
Dang.
I think it was probably James.
Probably.
Jeez.
James is
Yeah.
also a lovely boy.
Yeah. And then we had Airspace.
We made Airspace, which I don't know, dude. They always just like sound like they're too big for the venue they're in, no matter where
Yeah.
they are. Which is like the weirdest quality to have.
I just can't wait for them to come out with new music, and then I realize like
Ooh, they
that's,
play new
that's
songs.
They do.
It's
They
up
play
to
a new
us.
song.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there's that.
It's like,
Well, I'm not gonna
oh
try
man,
to
I
write
can't.
it for them.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be so excited when they come out with new music. It's like that's gonna we'll do that. And it's like,
Yeah, I'm writing the new Airspace song right now before I came
Or
here.
doing
so,
Airspace
yeah.
bases.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dude, that's yeah, they put a couple new songs this weekend that were all, I like them.
Was it a couple new ones or was it just
I
one?
think it was 2,
Okay.
if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, they sounded good.
Mm.
I haven't had a chance to listen to them over and over again because we haven't put them out.
Yeah.
But
not yet.
We also, the one thing I really like that we did with our show is like we tried to make it an actual show,
yeah, we had lights,
Yeah, it had
which was
some
really
spectacle.
cool.
and yeah,
We had way bigger ideas that we couldn't do with like the
Yeah.
limitations of what we had to work with, but like we
And
had
the
way
time frame.
bigger ideas of stuff to do that I'm gonna actually try to incorporate.
Into the next one, next week. Come
No.
on out. Dead at.
I'm gonna try to
Oh,
incorporate
Lord.
them into like the videos like from the band's sets that we're
Okay.
gonna
yeah.
that I'm gonna be editing. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like we had the lights and stuff. That was really cool.
Pat was our light boy.
Hmm.
That wasn't so for Run from the Radio. They wanted some simple stuff done. And I'm like really familiar with their songs, so that wasn't hard. But We're from Antarctica wanted some stuff, and I'm like, they're playing songs that I hadn't heard before, and that was like really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So like they're like, because they did like twice in sound check, and I think I did okay then.
I think you did, yeah.
But
and
then
it
once
seemed like something went wrong when it was the actual song.
Yeah, like the light like box where all the switches were. It was really hard to see when there was no lights on. Everyone like, because we couldn't really use the white lights because they drowned out all the color.
Yeah.
So most of the time it was just red and blue. So I couldn't see any of the light switches. So I was like trying to figure it out while the music was going on, and then I accidentally flipped. I don't know. I messed up their lives, which I still feel bad about.
They afterwards they said nice things, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But Airspace's intro, I feel good about that one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait to see that.
Yeah.
Wait to see that.
We'll have videos out of that stuff soon.
But
There's so much. This all happened in one weekend. So
There's so much footage to sift through.
footage
and
and pictures to like it's so much. Lizzie's been working on it like all night so far.
It was really cool to offer that level of professionalism for that set, though, because that was, I mean, in terms of like stage effects and stuff, that was probably the most that they had ever been able to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Being on
heard they were like
stage and
really
lights and-
surprised,
Yeah.
like that we had that, and they were really into it and excited. So that's cool, man. If we can give those bands something that like they're excited about to like perform, you know, like that's cool. Mission accomplished.
I think it's a cool thing for a band to do, to have like some specific thing they do live or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Like I think that I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I pitched sort of on the radio. They should have a song called Soundcheck. That's just the song they do for Soundcheck, and they don't record it or they don't put it up anywhere.
They just played at soundchecks.
They just play it at Soundchecks, and then never again.
See, eventually, though, when you get
That's
big
funny.
enough, like
Like,
nobody
people
hears
get-
your
yeah.
sound check.
That's true.
So I don't know if that's gonna work. Great for the underground scene,
Great for
but
yeah.
other than that,
Yeah.
anything else about the show worth talking about? It was just a really neat experience. I'm glad we were able to do, and
Wish we had a little more time to do it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that in about, I don't know, we only had a few months from the time that it was like the ideas came and we started to like look into things. So it was pretty short notice, honestly. But it came together and it went well, I would say, and I'm pretty proud of it. I'm proud, like it's just cool. I just dig doing stuff that's always like pushing the barrier, you know. And it's
Yeah.
like just
I definitely didn't think we were doing this a year ago.
yeah, no, not at all. But it's just you got to get yourself into that mindset where it's like, yeah, let's do it because like why not? What is the point of not doing
yeah,
it?
it's
Let's
that
just do it
Storm
'cause we
Hutchinson
can.
attitude, dude. Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
God bless him. He's married.
God bless.
Sure,
Storm.
God bless him, dude. He's rest in peace.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Storm.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Storm. We failed you. You think
But-
Storm's looking down on us now, and he's like, ah.
I can't believe they talked about video games the entire
I
podcast.
can't believe they talked about.
Did he not like when we talked about
Printers.
video games?
I don't
I don't
know.
remember that. Well,
I
the
remember
printer
he played-
thing,
No, he
he's
did.
that's
Printer probably not.
yeah.
He liked
He did play
Overwatch.
Realm. He did play Realm of the Mad God during one of the podcasts.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
he did.
That was a good
And he
show.
always
I was a
loved
big
talking
fan of
about
that one.
microtransactions.
That's true.
Yeah, it was like his big thing.
Storm always liked a good controversy. I
Yeah.
mean, the original podcast we ever shot, which actually isn't on our channel, like the Lab 212 channel, but like the original pilot was pretty much only us talking about like YouTube beef and like
Yeah.
the YouTubers we really fucking hated, and also the YouTubers we liked. That was like the whole thing. Like we were always into the YouTuber T, making fun of fucking Jake Paul and shit.
Was that what the show was going to be about originally?
I think that was like it was a big thing that we both like were passionate about and had a lot to say about. So like it tended to be something we talked about a lot. I feel like at first it was definitely very much at the forefront of things because it was like all of our influences to make the podcast were like very specific YouTubers that we were a fan of and stuff with their podcasts, and that's kind of how we came up with like this show. And then what we talked about tended to be a lot of stuff about like demonetization and the adpocalypse and controversies and stuff like that just was where we went a lot because it was just something we were always into, and like that YouTube community and that scene. And we had a lot of like inspirations and creators that we were big fans of that we had like mutual interests with. And so that's why if you watch, you guys probably, I'm sure you remember how often we would bring stuff like that up. Like we would work stuff about the meta YouTube shit into almost every episode early on. Even when we had like Useless Duck Company, like we really got into the meat.
That one was super interesting.
Yeah, like we really got into the meat of that shit, and that's why we did it because it is interesting, and it's interesting these people who like are just pouring their hearts and souls into a platform that like for a lot of them like seems like it doesn't want them, you know, but it does give them money to like sustain themselves. Like it's just such a weird thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a volatile platform.
We're getting dangerously close to like going into that topic for the 500th time, so let's not take that there.
For sure.
The following day after our concert, we had another concert, 3 concerts in a row. I mean, it wasn't our concert, but it was another show at Live at 13.
Yeah.
Which I think we were all anticipating for a long time.
Very much.
I was just trying to get through our concert so we could go to that concert.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a vacation.
Yeah.
Even though we were covering that show too.
Yeah. So anyway, day after our show, Live at 13, Airspace Open, and it was Waymaker.
Waymaker.
Cool.
Hadn't heard before.
Pokemon.
Dressed up as Pokemon.
They killed the Pokemon theme
They
song.
slayed.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you say it.
They KO'd the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah. The Waymaker was really good. I really
cool,
liked them. They had a lot of energy. They killed it.
I love the dude dressed as Misty. He was like,
and he didn't
Nice.
half-ass that either.
No.
Like he was showing his
He went
entire
hard.
stomach.
yeah, for
It was
sure.
nuts.
Then after them was
Weird from Antarctica? I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
which
yeah.
again had a really good set. I love Weird from Antarctica so much.
Then I can't remember if it was. I think it was Bobby Mahoney next, right?
Bobby Mahoney
and
was
Seven
next,
Son,
yeah.
who were also sick.
The Jersey Boys came
Jersey
back.
Boys. He gave me a free lighter. I don't smoke.
Did he
but-
give you a free lighter?
I have
Dude.
it. No, I don't have it with me.
Oh,
That's my sister's
okay.
car. Wait, you played with it the other night.
I did.
And MS's,
Okay.
yeah.
Did you leave it there?
No.
It's a
Did
weird
you
thing
leave
to
Bobby
say.
Mahoney there?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Bobby Mahoney was there, and then one of the ones we were all anticipating was Will Wood played. And before I was even introduced to him, I just saw this very tall man walking around in a very long coat. I'm like, that has to be Will Wood.
Yeah.
And it was Will Wood.
It was Will Wood.
And he came like with his own merch table and like,
Yeah.
all of this. He
That's the
came with a
funniest thing.
van load full of stuff.
Speaking of merch table, like the sweet shirt.
That's the wrong
Shout
side.
out. What?
I think it's the wrong side.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. That's your shirt. I don't know your insurance. So.
That's really sweet.
I hadn't listened to him at all beforehand, so I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
He's absolutely hilarious. He's like a comedian as well. Like he doesn't just play music. Like he's not just funny. He has the timing down of a comedian. Really cool. Chandler, you said I think that you had listened to like he was one of your favorite local bands at the moment.
Yeah, he just is like crazy. Like he just sounds really, really good. And
He is
I
nuts.
remember,
Yeah.
I think Lizzie said that he's like already just from the little stuff we listened to of him. Like she was so interested and into how they sounded and
I was,
wanted to see them live.
Yeah, I was a little worried because I think at some point Chris Kennedy booked the entire band, Will Wood and the Tapeworms, but then I guess I forget what happened. But the
Something
Tapeworms
happened.
couldn't come, and I'm like, is that gonna affect the show? And Chris was like, not phased. I was like, nah, we're fine.
Yeah.
And he was right.
Sometimes Chris is cool as a cucumber,
Yeah.
and then there's other times where he's just like freaking out.
I think Airspace was about to go on. It was like 7 o'clock, and I think Chris Crochet was to the bathroom quick or
Yeah.
something. And Chris was like, dude, I hate being behind schedule.
Like it's the first
It's like
set.
7:03.
It's going to get worse. Yeah. I was so glad that the reception for Will Wood was so good
yeah.
because it's so weird. His stuff is so different from anything else that's
It
played
is.
there.
Well, if I think about
But they
it,
loved it.
13 is kind of exactly the place where I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was
Will Wood.
Halloween.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Was it-
Which I feel like his music is very well suited for.
Yeah.
not that it's like pigeonholed into like you can only only enjoy it but it is, I think, definitely heightened.
Yeah.
It has like a goofy Halloween feel to
Yeah.
the music.
It reminds me of like Nightmare Before Christmas, kind of.
Yeah.
Not like exactly at
Yeah.
all, but
Well, I feel like I could listen to this year round. We're Night Before. As
Yeah.
good as Night Before Christmas, I only could do it all the time. But
I could listen to Nightmare. I listen to Nightmare Before Christmas at all times of the year. So
well, Zach sings Christmas songs all year.
I
so-
do, yeah.
I really do not like Christmas. I'll be honest.
It's the holiday season, man. It's the most wonderful time of year.
Look, Christmas.
It's fine.
I don't know,
Halloween's the
whole-
best holiday. It changed my mind.
I knew this was going to get to this point at some point.
Look, dude. Jesus comes back on Easter. All
Are
I
you
see
making
is
a
the-
case for Easter right now?
Fuck Easter,
Dude. Like, you
I
have
find-
two candy holidays.
What I
and you're
find
going
the
to pick
funniest
Easter?
thing is that Easter's like takes a backseat to Christmas, and Christmas isn't even a Catholic or a Christian
I
holiday.
don't give a shit.
It's pagan.
The aesthetic, man. It's nice.
That's how
You're
Jesus is
so-
born. It's just the funniest thing how like nobody really cares about Easter, but Christmas. No one should care about Christmas, but they really do.
I get free presents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coworkers that don't even really like me buy me gift cards sometimes.
Wow.
I'm just mean to everybody. I don't understand it. But
Maybe they're trying to turn you like if we get Mr. Gerhardt something nice, he'll be nice to us.
Mr. Gerhardt.
nobody calls me that. Mr. Gerhardt's my father. So. Halloween is second to
It's pretty good.
Christmas.
I'll be honest.
Zach, I cannot believe you're a Christmas guy. You're the least likely Christmas guy. It
is the only day out of the year I give a shit about. Not even my birthday. I just like
Amy's
Christmas.
birthday.
I've been coming around to Halloween. I haven't
I don't
come around.
get
This specific year, for some reason, Halloween wasn't giving me the vibes it usually does. Like I'm usually pretty excited about October, and there's like
You know
spooky
why?
vibe in the
Well, I
air.
always get sick.
Because I was stressed out about throwing a concert.
Yeah.
that, and I think it's because you're not in school.
That might be
I
it,
feel like
yeah.
when you're in school and like it's coming up, like Halloween's coming up, you're like, yeah, dude, and
Yeah.
you're just like in this like community of like young kids who are all just like, yeah, fucking Halloween. But if you don't have that, it's like Halloween kind of because you have to like make an effort to have a Halloween. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have to put
Like,
it.
I
It's not
couldn't
like
go trick or treating or anything.
like Christmas is just gonna happen
Mm-hmm.
with or without you. You know, like New Year's is gonna happen with or without you. But like you have to like
Yeah.
do shit on Halloween
Yeah.
to have a Halloween. So I feel like if you're not doing that, which we were very busy and shit. So
Yeah.
I honestly, like we saw a movie. Like that's,
Yeah.
we saw a kind of Halloween themed ish movie. You know, like that's not that. I would have loved to dress up. Oh, and I went to a Halloween party, but like.
I'd
it's
like
not,
to go to more Halloween parties. I'm just not a costume guy.
They're fun.
You can do really
This
simple
dude, my
costumes.
coworker came dressed as the straight Tetris piece. It was so funny.
You could always do the classic Facebook one. You just write book on your face.
Oh,
No,
that's not funny.
that's too low effort. There was a time, we were like 12, 13, 14 maybe. We went out trick-or-treating, me and my friends, and we'd print out faces of like politicians. And we would
Nice.
just hold them like on a popsicle stick and knock on people's doors.
Dude, you're so topical.
Yeah.
When was that? That was like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
you're
So
on
you
with
had, like,
George
Richard
Bush.
It was
Nixon.
George Bush.
I knew it.
Dick
Yeah.
Cheney. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was really fun.
John F. Kennedy, like
Yeah.
all the presidents you grew up with.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Kennedy dressed as
Yeah.
John
Did.
JFK.
Which is really
He
funny.
dressed as a dead Kennedy,
He just, yeah.
which I feel is great. It's a great
funny.
idea. He
Mm.
did a great job.
I still think Brady should have been Jackie, but
That would have been
that
money.
was really funny.
But I love. I feel like
Brady's
he probably
costume
has
was good,
cost
though.
dressed so much already. Like
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I gotta do a
I'm gonna throw him for
A
a lead
costume
dresser
that-
to the guy.
yeah.
What was Brady dressed as?
I think the lead singer of MCR.
Oh yeah, MCR from Danger Days
Okay.
specifically, I believe. I could be wrong, but it looked like his Danger Days kind of get up, which is their last album before they broke up because that album sucked. I'm just kidding. It wasn't. I liked it.
It's all because of the costume.
But other people did not like it, so it's all because of the costume. And he dyed his hair.
I was gonna go as Chris Carcetti, but I couldn't find a
Dude, you
decent-looking shark tooth
You
necklace.
should
I feel
go
like you
the-
pussied
the
out.
keychain. He did.
Oh
dude.
well, I
You just pussied out,
I
you know?
definitely pussied out, but at the same time, I just didn't start the search.
Look, you could have
The search?
Dude, you found an alligator keychain, which I think would have been hilarious if you used that as a necklace
I
instead of the
could've,
alligator
yeah.
tooth.
It
That would have
been
been
fun.
very funny.
I was even like, I was telling you to order it at that moment.
Yeah.
Nah. I
We,
think that
we
was
were
it.
throwing a concert like the next fucking day, Pat.
So,
Okay,
it would have been funny.
How would that company ship that knowing what was at stake?
Yeah,
It was the next
exactly.
day.
Thank
it was
you,
like the
Chandler.
Monday before.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the
You had
Monday.
plenty of
before.
time.
I'll get up.
I bought my
I'll
Slenderman
play
mask.
Mario
You know what?
Odyssey again.
I bought my Slenderman mask after that meeting, and I got it before the
Someone
concert. so-
bursted in the Amazon office is like, don't ship that. They have a concert tomorrow they have to prepare for. It'll distract them way too much.
Ship that.
We can't do it. Mr. Amazon's like, I understand. And he doesn't put it through.
As he's kissing each package before it gets shipped off.
Do you think Dr. Amazon kisses each package before it gets sent out?
That sounds like a creepy Christmas origin story.
I can't unsee that. He's just standing at the line where all the packages are going down, and he's just like,
It's like, all right, make it safe.
why is there lipstick all over my package? It's fucking weird.
Wow.
Mr. Amazon also cross dresses every day.
See, I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, so transvestites are just
Yeah.
a constant right now in my
Yeah.
head.
It's funny.
It's all that's on my mind is
It's fine. That's a funny
transvestite.
way to say that. Transvestites are just a constant in my head right now, dude.
You think what you want.
It sucks Tim Curry's dead. He was really hot in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
He was really hot in that. He was really hot in Command and Conquer 3.
I forgot he was in that. Why did Command and Conquer think it was a good idea to film live action anything in that
They
game?
thought they were like ahead of the time or some shit.
No.
That's just where everybody was gonna go.
They're like, let's get a bunch of B-list actors to come in. No, it's not even B. Like, there's so many people who are actual actors in that, and it's so bad still. Like, didn't they have was Patrick Stewart in it?
I think it was before they realized that no one actually cared if an actor was in a game.
Yeah, I don't know why they.
It's never really worked out.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh.
I know Rockstar gets like actual actors to do all their stuff, but they're not like.
They're not playing themselves though, are they?
Patrick
It's not like
Stewart
Tom
and
Cruise.
Sean Bean were in Oblivion.
Yeah.
What
But
did
that
they
was
play?
cool. They were
Did
just
like,
doing
were they,
voice
like-
acting.
One was a minor character. Well, one was a major character that dies very quickly. Not who you
Yeah,
think.
Patrick
And
Stewart.
and
Yes,
not
but
who I think.
any
It's not
Oblivion
Sean Bean.
spoilers
Okay.
for you, just
Yeah,
in
the
case.
Emperor dies in the first minute of the game, and then
It was
Sean,
voiced by Patrick Stewart, which is the most unfortunate part.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
and then Sean Bean plays his son.
So for this
It's always
segment,
just
I'm
like,
going to
that's
review
close.
each Stephen King book that's on this table.
Well, thanks for coming, everybody. I appreciate you spending the time with us this fine evening in Pat's bedroom.
An intimate evening in
Yeah.
Pat's bedroom.
Yeah.
Not a lot of those go on.
Pat, I have one question before we depart.
It went badly. It went really badly.
Yeah.
I'm at like 10 movies, dude.
Yeah, I
You
wanted to
fucking-
bring that up because this is
suck.
November 1st,
Yeah.
so
I
it's
think
over.
after Children of the Corn, I'm like, I'm doing stuff every day. I can't do this.
After Children of the Corn, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was
Jeez.
a millennia ago.
Yeah.
I fucked
It was.
up, dude.
Well, on the bright side, you can now watch all the Thanksgiving movies.
It's true.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
dude.
Such
Like,
as
Chicken Run.
Chicken Run.
Is that an actual? Do they bring up Thanksgiving?
I
It's
don't
about
think so.
chickens, not turkey.
Okay, how about this? What?
Is that the same thing? How would Chicken Run be about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, chicken
Listen.
tastes better.
Listen, I'm
Yeah,
getting an art
okay.
degree. So.
Bro, I'm getting when I have Thanksgiving in my own home, I'm getting chicken instead of turkey.
That's fine.
It's
don't
just
care.
better.
That's what Sam and I have done.
I also should not have a large enough family that would warrant me buying a whole turkey.
I mean, dude, part of the fun of buying a turkey is knowing you're not going to finish it that night. You
What
get
if-
turkey
That's
sandwiches,
not fun.
turkey
I hate
leftover sandwiches.
leftovers.
No,
I hate
the turkey is the
leftovers.
worst part of the Thanksgiving dinner.
You're wrong.
I don't
You
know
just have
about
all
that.
the sides.
You're
You
wrong.
just have the
You're being-
fucking
you're being
the
bad turkey.
sides, and then
Just
your
have
other
only
sides.
at your Thanksgiving.
Anyway, Pat, I have a different idea.
Yeah.
Watch all of the Thanksgiving specials on every sitcom you can find
Oof.
before the month is over.
Alright,
sounds
I'll make sure to hit 10 again and then quit.
Cringy.
That actually
Because
pretty
they're all
funny.
pretty much the
Only
same.
31 days until
I do
Thanksgiving,
that
guys.
for Christmas. I watch all the Office episodes that
Yeah.
are Christmas themed.
On
Those are really
Christmas
funny.
Day?
No.
Okay.
We do watch the Bill Murray Christmas special on Netflix, which is
Okay.
super depressing. It's got a pretty sick Phoenix song though, so I would recommend
Okay.
it.
You mean like the EDM artist?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Bill Murray, the EDM artist.
Phoenix is an EDM group.
No.
Phoenix?
They're like
No.
weird
They're like-
indie rock.
They're France indie pop or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
Lasso?
Last is a
What are
good
you
song.
talking about?
What are you talking about?
You mean the French guys?
Yeah, the French
Is
guys.
this the part of the podcast where we
I-
teach Chandler new things?
Yeah, I think so.
I
That'd be a
feel
new
like
segment.
no, I'm a fan of Phoenix. I just have always considered them to be more dance music than like an indie rock band.
No, I don't. Like 1901 and like that
I'm
entire
not
album
actually.
isn't. It's pretty just indie poppy. I think.
I'm gonna play Mario Odyssey.
It's a good
I
move.
like that.
I
When are we
mean,
gonna
maybe-
play Fallout 70? We have to
maybe
get
their
Fallout
newest album.
76 so we can play it for a series.
I am not getting Fallout 76.
I still have to buy Zach Black
Unless
Ops
you buy
4.
it for me. Yeah.
I don't want to do it either, but we have to.
Okay. If you say
Look,
so.
I don't like this just as much as you. Okay, we're all in the same
Yo,
boat.
I have coupons for Big Woodies if you guys want to
Oh,
go
dude,
out.
let's do it.
Yes, dude. Please save those.
Yeah.
Yeah, by
I'm
the way,
starving.
Emrys is coming with your shirts. Whenever she gets there.
Really?
Yeah.
That made my day.
All right, friends, we're wrapping this up.
I was gonna try and get Mom Jeans to sign them. You're a cuck. Or Chandler, you're a cuck. Love, and then all them, but they didn't. They didn't come out and sign stuff. It's unfortunate, but
just it's the thought that counts, Pat, and that's fucking amazing. So I would have.
it sucks too because during their set they're like, "Come say hi." So I figured that meant that they'd be there after, but
Yeah, it's weird. They're
I
like,
mean,
come
also-
say hi, and then they leave immediately.
they were also going to Boston that night, so like I don't
Yeah.
really blame them.
Yikes.
They gave a good show, so like, what else can I really ask?
Yeah, for sure.
Pat, you want to do us out for old time's sake?
us out.
When did I ever do us out?
That's the joke.
Thanks for watching, slide and everything. Follow the podcast and Twitter.
This is rough. Worse than me.
Facebook. Check out Chandler's live stream on the 3rd. That'll be 2 days before this came out.
So you can watch all the VODs.
Yeah, the best part of Extra Life
Just
live
go look
streams
at
is
the
watching
VODs.
the
Go to our
VODs.
Twitch, look for the VODs. Like, it's going to be over.
Do you have anything to say, Chandler?
Make sure to come out to the Too Dead to Be Human show
Which will be
coming this.
14 days before the no. Don't be that bad. It'll be a solid 10 days.
Do I?
before this
Yeah. Check out like I'm not gonna put an exact time frame on anything, but shit we're working on right now. We got a new merch website coming out soon, so you guys are gonna be able to buy merch. It's gonna be sick. We have a huge catalog already of all cool stuff from both Lab 212, the podcast, and all the bands on our label. So that's coming. I just released a vlog from like being in Florida this week.
Instead of a podcast.
Instead of a podcast, which I kind of want to do that. Not instead of a podcast, but I want to start releasing maybe a vlog or two a week, which is something
Nice.
I can probably do one for sure. Two would be like bonus, if there's a lot going on, because I want to try to keep them current, But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy that, and then also. I can't think of anything else. We just have we have more music coming out. Go check out, Pretty Evil and Wasting Yesterday and Run From the Radio and just everyone's rocking.
We're from
And
Antarctica.
rolling.
It's my spirit band. Ken Levine's
We're
my
from
dad. Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spaniard
Have a good
earbuds.
night, guys.